Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Modern Witch Podcast. On today's episode, I'm going to tell you guys about my new space that I just opened in downtown Greensboro called A Holistic Awakening. So if you are not familiar with me, or if you're new here, hi, I'm Madison. I'm so happy you're here. I am a Reiki master, an Akashic Records reader, a medium, a tarot reader. I do a little bit of everything when it comes to holistic spaces and offering different types of readings and energy work. So I actually just got done doing my very first Reiki session in my new space, which was so fun. So I've spent a lot of time just kind of crafting and curating how I want it to look in here to just be a very homey, comfortable environment, and that was definitely kind of what I picked up on from the customer. She immediately kind of commented on how she liked the way it looked and just kind of felt, and how great the session was. And so I really just felt like, oh yes, I did it. I created the space that I wanted to create. And so I wanted to share with you guys a little bit about how I got started in the spiritual space and what I am going to be offering here at A Holistic Awakening. So I have been a medium since I was a kid, which is a very strange thing to say out loud. I have been in the broom closet for 99% of my life, having just started to come out about my gifts within the past year, and having just started within the past year to offer readings to different people, to work different fairs, to go ahead and become a Reiki master, all the different things. And it has been so fun and so rewarding. But for a long time, I didn't really know what to do with my gifts. So as I mentioned, as a kid, I had a lot of interactions with different spirits, angels, past family members, different things like that. And from there, whenever I was, a late teen, I started drinking. And one interesting thing about alcohol is it will really suppress a lot of your spiritual gifts if you have them. So a lot of my spiritual gifts were pretty suppressed up until about 2020. Like during my 20s, they would kind of come and go. If a big event would happen, they would kind of come back to life and remind me that I had them, but I wasn't really sure what to do with them, so I didn't really want them, if that makes sense. And so I was really confused with, how do I use these gifts? What are they for? And then in 2020, my dad passed away, and it was like all of my spiritual gifts and abilities came back to life, and I was able to use my mediumship ability to connect with my dad and heal a lot of my grief around his passing. And so my dad actually passed away from COVID, and I was the one that had to call him and be like, hey, I have COVID, I was just around you, you have to test. And then from there, he tested positive, was pretty much immediately put into ICU on a ventilator. He had just gone through chemo and radiation for lung cancer, so he was in the small percentage of people that were likely to be very impacted by COVID. So I kind of watched my dad die for about a month, and after he passed, my medium abilities came back, and he came to see me, and I was able to work through so much of my grief. And then I was able to actually kind of go past that and kind of have a relationship with my dad as like a guardian angel or like spirit guide, which has been really, really cool. And so from there, I had been working in my own Akashic Records. If you're not familiar, Akashic Records are the concept that you can tap into your soul's library and find out information about why you chose this life, how you can best add value in this life. You can find out about past lives, soul contracts, all these interesting things. So I was working on my own Akashic Record, just trying to figure out, like, why do I have these gifts? What am I supposed to do with them? I feel like there's no way that they're just for me. And so I'm working on my Akashic Record, just like, what the heck, guys? What am I supposed to do with these gifts? And about that time, I went to a retreat actually hosted by AG from AG University, which is another great like spiritual, holistic, metaphysical podcast. And on this retreat, I had my first medium experience where I realized that I could connect with people that I didn't know in this life. And so at this point, I thought within my medium abilities, I could connect with people that I knew in this life, but I hadn't realized that I could connect with other people's past loved ones and sort of act as a messenger. So I'm at this retreat in Costa Rica, and I have this experience where my dad comes to me and brings me my roommate, both of her parents. And he brings her parents, they have a message, and I ended up telling her about this experience, and it was really validating for her with just some things she was going through. And I was like, oh shoot, is this why you guys gave me these gifts? Like, can I use these gifts to help others, like in the same way I've been helping myself? And from then on, I just started to get other people's angels or past loved ones that would visit me with a message for somebody that I knew, somebody that I was interacting with. And after this went on for a while, I was like, I wonder if I can do other people's Akashic records. So I started doing medium readings, Akashic records readings. I started practicing Reiki on other people. I started doing everything in the world of tarot and working a lot of just holistic fairs, psychic fairs. And I really just felt so fulfilled when I was doing this work. It felt so cool just to be able to go work a holistic fair and set up a container that I want to help people connect with their soul's purpose or help people heal from grief. And I've really been able to do that through a lot of my work. And so for the past couple of years I've been working, there were just a couple of really clear signs that while fairs were a big part of me gaining my confidence and getting started, that it wasn't supposed to be the long-term business plan. Not to say I'll never work another fair, I definitely will. But it was definitely pretty clear that I was supposed to have my own space. And I was like, are you crazy? I'm not going to be a Reiki healer, medium, Akashic records reader in Greensboro, North Carolina. Nobody even knows what that is in Greensboro. And they were like, yeah, that's why you're supposed to do it there. And I was like, oh no. And so I kind of had this epiphany of like, I hadn't been offering a lot of this work in the space where I physically lived because I didn't really feel like there was a big market for it. And my angels were like, yeah, but you're the one that can kind of bring that to the space here. And so I've committed. I opened a space where I'm offering Reiki readings. I'm going to do group meditations. I am going to offer some different support groups. I'm going to offer a recovery circle. And I also have like a book swap going on as well. If you're interested in just different spirituality books, metaphysical books, I have that going on as well. So a space that I'm really excited about and can't believe is actually here. Like I said, just did my first session. I literally got the keys last week. I had a super busy week, so it was the week of Thanksgiving. So I pretty much just came here, dumped everything to like get it out of my house. And then spent the last 2 days like actually putting everything together, bringing the space to life. And you guys, I'm obsessed. It's literally like the most fun, girly, spiritual paradise. And I really am just so excited to hopefully see you guys there and hopefully see you either in a Reiki session or a reading or a meditation. And I really hope that this space allows me to just build a spiritual community of other people who are interested in spirituality or are looking to connect with other people in the space. So yeah, that's what I'm up to here at Holistic Awakening. I am located at 301 South Green Street. That is actually right across from the Carolina Theater, right beside the bodega. There is an office building and I'm in Suite 12. So if you guys want to book a session with me or read more, I'll link my blog down below as well as my booking link. So if you guys just want to find out more about me or book a session with me, feel free. I hope to see you soon and meet your beautiful faces. Thanks so much for tuning in, and as always, happy healing.